Oh man, so Bitcoin continues to struggle to break that $17,000 mark as recession fears continue. And at the same time, Kwon comes out and says that perhaps Sam Bankman-Fried is to blame for the manipulation that led to the fall of Terra Luna and the UST collapse earlier in the year. Loads to go through here. We're going to take a look at the charts. We're also going to look at what Kwon said, so make sure you smash the likes. Don't forget to subscribe. As always, check out the links in the description. I'm slowly getting on the main, guys. We're going to get through this content and find out exactly what is going on in this market. Remember, we've got the FOMC meeting next week. Markets are really volatile leading up to that decision. Are we going to get that 50 basis points? Remember, that is the backdrop we've got right now. A nervy market with lots to play for going into the end of this year. Let's take a look at the charts. Let's take a look at this tweet from Kwon, who retweeted the article by the New York Times, which said that the FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried faces market manipulation inquiry. And he says, I think the time has come for Genesis Trading to reveal if they provided the $1 billion in UST shortly before the crash to SBF or Alameda. The purchase from LFG was represented as stemming from interest to participate in the Terra DeFi ecosystem. Very interesting. He says another question. Alameda borrowed 9 figures in Bitcoin from Voyager. Remember, Voyager famously went bankrupt as well on DPEG dates and asked other large firms to borrow more than 10 figures. What was this used for needs to become public knowledge. He said it's fairly public knowledge at this point, but the large currency contraction that UST went through in Feb 2021 was started by Alameda when they were sold 500 million UST in minutes to drain its curve pools. So remember, guys, this is dating back to the point where the first thing which created the Terra collapse was that a bunch of money was drained out of the curve pools. He's saying that Alameda, and it's widely known that Alameda started this. What was their intention? Was this market manipulation? And were they the cause of this whole domino effect which led to 3 Arrows Capital, which led to Void, which led to Celsius, and all the other collapses we've seen, including BlockFi as well? So Kwon coming out and saying that Sam Bankman-Fried could have started this whole market manipulation. If we also take a look, you can see that Kwon retweeted a tweet from Suzu 3 hours ago where Suzu said there's this notion that Luna would have failed anyway if Alameda, FTX, and affiliated parties use their clients' assets to orchestrate an elaborate attack. This actually gets to basic white hat versus black hat arguments. So a lot of people remember Suzu is one of the co-founders of 3 Arrows Capital, which famously collapsed post the Terra Luna collapse as well. So a lot of these guys are now coming out and saying maybe Sam Bankman-Fried started the manipulation which caused the run on many companies during this crypto bear market. Look here at the Bitcoin price, and again we continue to struggle here at this 17,000 level. We can't even break through the 17,000 psychological level, let alone work our way to the next important level, which is that 17,600 level from the June low. So you can see here we got the break from this green triangle, but then we've struggled really to make any progress up towards the key level of 17,600. The bears are showing good strength here. You can see that volumes are declining, so this is a fairly weak move here. And now my bet would be on waiting to see if we're going to come back down to the 16,200 level and potentially even lower down to the 15,500 level, depending on what happens at the next FOMC meeting. Let's also take a look here at the dollar index, because it's important to look at how the Dixie is moving as well. And you can see a nice rejection here from the dollar index. I'm quite happy with the movement we are seeing here on the Dixie. You've got lower highs, you've got lower lows. We've navigated our way below the 200 exponential moving average. Initially, we saw some support from there. We've managed to now turn it into resistance, which is really good. Now we want to see a lower low. We want to see a lower low at 104. But then the question is, can Bitcoin take advantage of this? Because yes, we're seeing a movement in the dollar index, which is showing that risk is coming slightly on again. And remember, the risk is coming on slightly because people are expecting to see 50 basis points at the next meeting. Now, if I bring out the Bollinger Band, you can see exactly what's happening here. We're coming towards the middle of the Bollinger Band, this orange color line here. So normally two things can happen from here. And again, if you don't understand how Bollinger Bands work, take advantage of the free TA course, ejars.uk/TA. Link is in the description. I made my whole TA course available for absolutely free, guys. No other TA guy has put 10 years worth of traditional finance and crypto knowledge into one free course for you. It won't be free forever. Take advantage, learn EMA ribbons, learn Bollinger Bands, learn all the things that I talk about in these videos so that you can understand exactly what's going on going into the next bull market. So the question is, are we going to see support from this level? Can we see some support and a nice big move towards 17,000? Or Or are we more likely to head to the bottom of the Bollinger Band, right? We ran into the top of the Bollinger Band, rejected towards the middle, and are we going to come back down to the lower levels, back at 16,200, and maybe slightly lower as well? That is what I'm looking out for here. Let's also take a look at the VPVR, which is your volume profile as well. And what you can see is this is an important level here for Bitcoin. If we can navigate this level, where you can see this big volume bar here, up at that 17,200 level, then things do start to become easier. I'd say personally, after 17,500, if we can reclaim those levels above here, we could have a nice run up to the 18,500 levels. But we cannot take that for granted. This is not going to be easy to do. This is going to be based on a few different things. Zooming back out, what is it the market is looking for right now? Well, the market wants directionality. They want to understand that, are we heading into a recession in 2023, or does the Fed have control of things, and can we actually still navigate this soft landing? Recently, over the last couple of days, particularly after the non-farm payrolls, markets have seen that labor market is still tight. The economy is still doing pretty well. And when the economy is doing pretty well, markets get a little bit worried, because remember, they want the market to show some weakness. They want the market to show some weakness such that Jerome Powell goes, hang on a second, I cannot keep plowing 75 basis point rate hikes through. I cannot even keep doing 50 basis points. I need to pivot, and then I need to quickly get to zero and start turning the money printer on again. But we're not getting that right now. And that is why markets are not happy. They're having a bit of a temper tantrum, because the reality is they want rate hikes to turn back to accommodative policy very soon. But at the moment, there's no likelihood of that. Even if we get that rotation next week to 50 basis points, we're still increasing rates, and we're still doing it quite aggressively. 50 basis points is still aggressive, and there's no sight of when we're going to end those rate hikes. And even then, once we do get to the point where we decide our terminal rate, how long are we going to stay there for? So still lots to play for here in this market. I'm personally still dollar cost averaging, not super aggressively. These prices aren't as juicy as some of the prices we saw previously, but if I didn't have a portfolio built out, what a great time to be entering this crypto market. And the question you've got to ask yourself, as always, guys, what is your conviction? Are you taking the time, or are you procrastinating? Have you written down your ideal portfolio? Have you sat there and gone, what is the portfolio that if we're in a bull market from 18 months from now, that I'm going to be happy that I put that work in right now in the bear market? Have you written it down? Or are you just winging it? Have you learned? Have you watched my TA course? Have you understood the different patterns, when to enter the market, when to exit the market? Have you learned about tokenomics? Have you learned what makes a good project? Have you learned from all the collapses like Terra Luna and 3 Capital and FTX, how to navigate that? Have you learned to do cold storage? Have you learned to take custody of your coins, right? Have you learned what's a good exchange, what's a bad exchange, how to diversify between stable coins, how to diversify between exchanges? If you haven't done all this, you need to ask yourself, what are you doing in this crypto space? Are you here to just gamble? Are you here to just take endless risk? Or are you actually trying to build wealth in a sustainable and pragmatic way? And if you want the latter, you've got to go for that process. You've got to learn what makes a good project. You've got to learn how to diversify. You've got to learn how to navigate these bear markets and the bull markets. You've got to learn how to build conviction. And now is the best time to be doing that. Again, if you want more insights into that, jump into our Discord. It's completely free. ijaz.uk/Discord. Meet like-minded people. Tag me with any questions as well, and we can navigate this bear market together. Thanks for joining me, guys. Don't forget to smash up likes. Don't forget to subscribe. Go watch this video here, and I'll see you in the next one.